Hello guys, and welcome back to episode number 2 of MDTV interview series. And don't we have a lot to talk about? To help me, I have a very special guest today, and she goes by the name of Naomi Smith, BLM advocate, content creator, as well as a girl that's holding it down for all the dark-skinned females on the gram. So Naomi, how has 2020 been treating you so far?
Boy, 2020 has probably been the craziest year of my life.
What makes you say that?
I mean, Vogue happened this year. I mean, 20,000 people turned up to the protest happened this year.
A lot has been going on for you, and we're really going to get into it. So,
I mean, I want to say it all started in lockdown, which could have been many people's downfall. You know, like a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of bad things happened. A lot of people are dying. Like it was bad in the beginning. You know, so we've gone into lockdown, and I'm kind of like in this space where, everyone's kind of at home. I've got, at the time, I think it was about 23,000 followers. And then I just thought to myself, let me just content create. Let me just start, putting myself out there more. Because I was already, pretty on the gram, doing my dark skin stuff and the hair, the makeup. But yeah, I went home one day, got this wig that was sent to me, and went on live, as you know, with the geezer man, I think he called himself.
He was so excited.
He was. I mean, funny. It's funny now because we don't speak anymore. Because
you don't speak to him anymore.
Like he got a bit too excited in the time. I think the 24 hours of fame was just like a bit much for him. But that was crazy. Like that was like the first little dose of fame. Let me say. Making the shade room.
Don't worry, we're going to get into that. Yes. Because, a lot of people have been saying, lockdown has been a blessing in disguise. And obviously, RIP to all the people who have died, all the people that have been affected. But for a lot of people, like you as well, there's been a lot of benefits from it. But one of the main reasons why I really wanted to sit down with you today and talk to you is because of, your platform. A lot of girls on Instagram, a lot of girls have influence. But I feel like you use your platform in a way that you embody a lot of good things, and you hold it down for the dark skinned girls. Your journey to where you are now hasn't always been like this. You'll probably agree, you haven't always been this confident. And I really wanted to speak to you about your journey and how you got here. So what are your recollections from a young age, growing up? What experiences did you face which probably made you feel maybe my dark skin, a lot of people don't approve of it, or it's becoming insecurity to me? And probably from primary school all the way to secondary school.
I mean, primary school, if we're starting at primary school, I don't want to say I didn't notice it. It wasn't really so in my face because I didn't really understand. I was just, in school, probably around, I'd say at the age of about, let me say 8, 9. I don't know what year that is, but it was when a boy made a comment, and he said that I look like poo. And at the time, I'm 8, 9 years old. I'm thinking, oh my God, like that's terrible because poo's not a nice thing. At the time, I didn't so much relate it to my skin color, but I knew that poo was not a nice thing. So it was negative,
Of course.
Right. So I went home, I told my dad, I was like, Dad, someone called me. Someone said I look like this today, and he kind of brushed it off. And I think that was kind of the start, which sounds so petty but I feel like that was the start because where someone that was kind of so close to me and that was meant to be the father figure in my life kind of just brushed off something that I knew wasn't right, although it wasn't a major thing at the time. I knew it wasn't right. But so from primary school, I don't know, secondary school, let's jump. I mean, that's when the comments really started. That's when the dark skin was banter,
Who are the people that are making these comments? Obviously, we've spoken before, and you told me that you grew up in Sutton, which is predominantly white area.
Yes,
but you also said that you didn't really get it from your white counterparts. So who were the people who are making these comments to you?
Right, so it was predominantly white, but I'd say in my school about 20% was black, or let me say BAME, that 20%, 8% white. And it wasn't the white people. I'll say that for a fact, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like now, obviously with everything that's going on, and I'd say dark skin itself just being more accepted, it's kind of funny because it's no one wants to talk about what happened back then. Do you get what I'm saying? It wasn't, as I say, it was not the white people.
It wasn't, There
we go.
Because I even have a story. Sorry, I remember when I was in secondary school, and obviously as a black girl, I used to perm my hair a lot in it, but my hair used to like perm so quickly. So I remember one day my hair burnt and it went to my forehead. And I'm someone in school. I used to banter a lot in secondary school, and I knew that if I went to school with this forehead,
they would have finished you.
People are gonna banter me, and it did happen. But obviously, I was strong-willed in it. I was never like scared, so I would obviously throw it back at them. But it's just like people say things to me like the darkest. I remember one of my friends said to me that me and my other friend were dark because we don't bath. But it was banter, But it's actually not banter. You can't be saying things like that to people.
It's fun because I feel like a lot of people, this is the problem. Because a lot of people, it is banter, and in the time it's funny. That's why even when the whole Twitter thing started and everyone was gunning Nella Rose, all these different influencers, like at the time, everyone was laughing.
Yeah.
So who are you to come today? Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know, I feel like I don't want to say people need to cut it out, but it's just not funny. It's not funny. And it's like, yeah, I was laughing, but I was feeling it. Like, even if I wasn't showing it then, I'd go home and think about it. And it's like, I always say it's always the negative thoughts. You could say so many nice things to me, so many nice things to me. And don't get twisted. Obviously, I'd like to, keep them with me and remember those comments, but it's the negative things that stick with you.
Of course.
Yeah, so.
And I feel like, obviously, luckily for me, I grew up in a predominantly black area. So, if anything, the hate I was getting, I wouldn't even say hate, it was more banterish comments, but it was from my, obviously,
peers.
Black counterparts. But everyone always assumes that it's always the white people, the other ethnicities, when really and truly could really be your own people.
Yeah, hundreds.
And I feel like that's where the problem starts from. And obviously, you're talking about how, obviously, from like primary school, you've been experiencing stuff like this. I feel like, have you heard about the study where it was like African-American couple where they put the dolls, they put like black and white dolls in front of young African-American kids and told them to choose.
Yeah.
And the kids all went to the white doll.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like that stems from? Because with me, obviously, I have my own.
It's hard to say that it's, it couldn't have been social media back then, but it's like whatever is at the top, whatever's being most presented is what, do you get what I'm saying? People will...
They believe that's right. Because I feel like when you're young, no one really sits down and says, black is ugly. It's a lack of representation. So obviously, as a young kid, if I open CBeebies, presenter's going to be white.
There we go.
If I open Argos catalogue, Baby Annabelle is going to be white. It's only until even Bratz started making their own one. But
and it's in every aspect.
It's in every aspect. So kids, if that's all they see, and kids, when they see things, they want to replicate it.
Yeah.
If that's all they see, to them, that becomes the norm.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's why representation is so important. When you had like Ariel, when she got that, the help. I
Yes.
can't remember their names.
I know it's one.
Yeah, those two girls, Beyonce.
Yes.
When she got the role for Ariel, everyone was just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it allows young black girls to look at this and be like, wow, there's people that look like me. That's why I feel like representation
It's very good.
is obviously so important.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, at what age did you realise, you know what, this can't go on. I can't feel like I'm not beautiful anymore.
Yeah.
I can't feel like my dark skin is a problem. When did that start to kick in? Because I feel like in life, there's always that trigger when it's like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore.
I don't want to, okay, so I am not putting this down to a guy. I'm not putting this down to be in a relationship, but I got into a relationship and I mean, I didn't care anymore. I wasn't really trying to impress anyone other than him. Do you get what I'm saying? And I got comfortable. I wasn't wearing makeup. I used to wear makeup every day. Every single day, like to a point, even in school, people would be like, oh my God, like today you look light, why did you look dark yesterday? Like, what's going on? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was always covering I think I'd say within the ages of like 15 to about 17, 18, that was me, I would feel insecure without makeup on, right? So yeah, went to a relationship, stopped wearing makeup, stopped just really kind of caring about anything, and then I got out of that and it kind of stayed the same, I kind of wasn't bothered about anything. It was really negative that, do you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I found myself after it, because I didn't care about anything. Like, you could say anything to me, like, he put me through hell, So it's like,
I can imagine.
Right, so whatever comes, I said to myself, whatever comes after this, it's not that. So it can't be, do you get what I'm saying? It can't be worse than this,
So would you say someone else seen the beauty in you allowed you to kind of see the beauty in yourself?
Yes. But don't go looking in that direction, do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to say it in a way where it's like, oh, find like...
Let a man find your beauty.
Do you get what I'm saying? It should never be that, but I can't sit here and say that didn't play a part in me finding my confidence. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's just being tired of things as well. Like, I would genuinely look at myself in the mirror like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what's going on, you know? Like, and it got to a point where I genuinely just say to myself, you are beautiful. And that's just the way it is. Like, you are stunning. And it just kind of, you know, I just kept going. I read the book The Secret, actually. I read the book The Secret, and I knew about that book from young, but I didn't really take it in until I was about, say, 17, 18, same way. So, you know, it talks about the law of attraction, and whatever you speak kind of manifests into your life. So yeah, implementing that into my life changed a lot, especially to do with my confidence. So yeah.
That's crazy. So what ages did you like start to realise?
17, 18, yeah.
Do you know what it is? I feel like even with me, I don't really know when I started to think. I don't feel like I ever hated my skin.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was just a bit too dark. I love being black. Black is a culture. I love being black.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was always the darkest. You get it? But it didn't really make me feel like weighing me down too much. But I feel like there was a period, and I really want to speak on this because it annoys me. There was this period where I feel like everyone started to accept black girls. Yeah. Like you would see captions like the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, chocolate melanin, and that's great. I love the fact that, you know, people finally accept, even though it was a bit cringe that people finally accepted us, but there was this, you know, black girls are the in thing, which is great. But my problem arises when I feel like black girls were only being accepted when they were sexualized, or unless their body, they were curvaceous, like they had these extreme bodies and like probably had lingerie with like baby oil on them. That's the only time the black girl's beautiful. And to me, that's problematic because when you look at other races, they don't need to like be half naked or whatever. And I'm not saying there's a problem with black girls being half naked. You can do that, but if you don't see it as a problem that that's the only time you are sexy or beautiful, then there's something wrong with you.
Most definitely.
Like that is problematic.
I had an incident with this lady. And I was at a photo shoot or a video shoot, I can't remember. But so we were on our way back because it finished, and you know, we were speaking about, you know, our come up and like how we got into the industry, and you know, and she was like, and funny enough, I made the comment already, and I was like, I wouldn't really do, you know, lingerie modeling. She was like, what am I into? And I was like, I'll do everything but lingerie, you know, all that other stuff, you know. And she was like, and I feel like that kind of triggered her in a way. But she then made the comment, she went on to say, yeah, it's a bit hard for dark-skinned girls when like they're not really like half naked, or you know, like it's a bit difficult for you to like get into the industry. And I'm sitting here.
Do you know what it is? She didn't tell a lie though.
It's true. It is very true, but you can't
be saying,
do you get what I'm saying? You can't sit like that, because I didn't even go on to tell her what I've done. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you don't need to, you're gonna go home and look on my Instagram and be like, oh, do you get what I'm saying? Because I went home, remember, I didn't know that's what she did. I went home and I went on Instagram, ended up preying hurting, and that's what she was into. And she almost said it in a way that's like, yeah, like you can't make it unless you do that. And that's wrong. That's wrong for you to say. Although there is truth in that.
The reason why I'm saying there's truth in that, I feel like that's what people have made society. Like, that's how people have pictured us. Unless we're doing that, that's the only way they would accept us. So that's the only truth that's in there. But reality should never be like that.
Right. So I just feel like people need to get themselves out of... It's, as you said, it is the way it is. But we need to just think away from that, you know? Like, the minute she said it, I felt like, what do you mean? Like, I kind of felt... I was triggered, do you get what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't know. Things may be the way that they are, but if we just sit and, yeah, this is the way it is, and like, you know, I don't think things will change.
Even with coming to like dark-skinned girls being accepted and stuff like that, I'm someone, what I want to talk about, I don't have time to be on social media like commenting, like, not that I won't defend black girls, but when it comes to like that whole people in the industry, footballers go for light-skinned girls, white girls, what's your take on that? With me personally, I just feel like, why are we forcing people to appreciate us or like us? But at the end of the day, their response is going to be, it's their preference, and there's nothing you can say about that.
No, that's true.
Do you get it?
It's true. It's a difficult conversation, you know, because I just feel like, for me, I feel like it's kind of an issue. It is an issue. Like, because you have to think of it like, if you're looking up to something, and if you're constantly seeing something, that's kind of the way, you know, you see it, you know? I don't know how to explain it.
It comes on more.
it's a difficult, as I said, it's a difficult conversation. I don't really know how to, you know, but I work in a barbershop, and footballers, rappers come in, like, to see 99% of them. Like, you don't see any representation. You're not marrying into anything else, but do you get what I'm saying? And it's not, as you say, it's not our biggest problem. That's why I don't think we should always, you know, go straight into it or talk about it so much, but it's an issue.
But you know, I say this because I feel like, I know it's an issue, but I just feel like I hate when I see like the black girls commenting, because it's like, just leave it. So it's like, at the end of the day, there's going to be a black man that's going to want to marry you.
It's true.
And when we do comment, we're bitter black girls.
Yeah.
So with me, I don't like wasting my breath on things.
No, it's
so
true.
when I see girls defending, big those girls are that can still defend. But me, I'm tired. I see it all the time, but I don't really get affected by it, because the person I'm going to be with, they're going to want to be with a dark skin girl.
Yeah,
Do you get it?
yeah.
So,
I think social media is not the best place to even make judgment, you know? Like, it's not, it's a whole mess. Like, comments are a mess. Like, it's not, it's just, is what it is.
And what it does is it forms like colorist debates. Because even if they're with a black girl, just because she's lighter, then you're going to get a light girl saying, well, it doesn't matter, I'm still black. And all of that, I feel like that's what creates a lot of debate and divide in our culture.
Yeah.
And that's when problems start to arise.
Yeah.
Well, maybe enough of that. Let's move on to the events that took place this year.
Yeah.
So obviously, RIP to George Floyd. We all know the brutal, cruel murder that happened in May.
Yeah.
And obviously, as a result of that, there was a lot of protests that occurred. Obviously, it all started off in America. People are furious, you know, conveying how they felt. And we ended up having one here. And you and your friends were you guys like the first people to have, did you guys organise the first protest?
I don't want to say the first one, because I wasn't really I didn't know about any other protests prior to that, but I couldn't sit here and say it was the first one.
Well, it was a major one anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to know what made you take on such responsibility, because to me, like, you need to understand, this was during lockdown.
Word.
So we weren't even really allowed out our houses.
It was nuts.
Just having a process is not easy to organise.
No.
So what gave you like the confidence and responsibility?
I'm actually tapped. I won't even lie. I'm too spontaneous. That's just like, it was just, okay, so if I'm honest, I'm sitting in my bed and I feel like it'd been over the course of like 2 to 3 days. The whole George Floyd, like that was just social media. You couldn't post about anything else. Like, I had to stop all my promo. Like, companies they were not happy, but everyone kind of understood at the same time. But it's like, so I'm kind of going on social media every day. I'm seeing everyone kind of like just posting. Like, I'm on like, you know, 72 hours in, and I'm thinking like, this shit is pissing me off. Like, it's really starting, like, me personally, I feel things, I really feel things, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of sat there like, I can't just sit here and watch, you know, this. Let me just try something. So I tweeted, I was like, I want to start a protest. I put it on my Instagram, I put it on my Twitter, I put it on my Snap. And a hell of people just started shouting at me. Like, my DMs were flooded with messages like, I want to get involved, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what? Let me just do this. I made a group chat and I put my number on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snap, and I just said...
You even put your number?
Oh, it's nuts. I put it up and I sent everyone the link, and everyone just started entering this group chat. And before I knew it, there was probably about 300 to 400 participants.
Your phone not freeze?
No, it didn't. My WhatsApp was lagging, but my phone was fine. So I've got about 400 people in this group chat, and they're literally all pulling together to organise this protest. Like, as in, don't get twisted. Yes, I put it out there, but from that point, from the minute I made that group chat, I didn't do anything. Like, other than just making sure this person's there, connecting this person with this person, you know? So it was like, it was so, like, I cannot tell you how amazing it was to see all different people from all different walks of life just coming together to help. Like, whatever we need, just slap it in the group chat and it's done. High vis, water, like, we had, I think, over 1,000 of bottles of water. Like, it was, everyone had something. Whatever you needed, put it in the group chat and it was there, you know? So from the group chat, I made another group chat for the volunteers, and that kind of like broke down to the core group of the whole thing. It's like the main organisers and like the people that would actually help out on the day. They were made to meet up on the day at 10 o'clock, and the event started at 1:30. Now, there was probably about, as soon as we got there was officers right by the gate. So I thought, right, it's a wrap. Like, you know, I just thought, call it a day. There was only, at the time, as soon as we arrived, there was only one whoever from the media, and they had this, and it was just stood there, and I thought, okay, cool, whatever.
They've been waiting for this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but then again, it was just still kind of like, okay, no one's here. There's just the police and those people. And then, what happened after? Then all the volunteers started arriving. We had like 50 to 100 volunteers. And I think what made the day so successful is that everything was social distance. So from the point of people arriving to the park, like you literally had to come in from one end, be escorted over to your designated whatever seating area. And I don't know, as I said, the minute I saw that officer, I thought it was a wrap. But he came over and he was so, I can't explain or stress how helpful the officers were on that day. Like,
and no one would actually know that.
No one would know that. Do you get what I'm saying? And I can't so we had to bring a generator into the park for the speaker. Without that generator, the whole thing would have been a wrap. Like without that thing, we couldn't do anything that we planned. Like we had a whole program like set up. And we were about to bring it in, and another officer who wasn't the head officer of Hyde Park, he was like, oh, we can't take that in. And I said, listen, if we don't get this in, it's a wrap. Like everything in your head. Do you get what I'm saying? Like everything that we've planned for today will literally be done. And that was the first time, and I don't know if it was the first time in however many years, but a generator had not touched the grass of that park. As in, it was illegal to bring a generator into the park. And he said, you know what, I'm gonna turn my head, you take that in as quick as you can. And I was just like, thank you so much. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that was just one thing, but it's like, the way the day just unfolded,
It took over social media.
It was crazy. It was, I can't, thinking about it now, I don't think about it all the time, but when it comes into my head, I just think, bro, like, did that actually, really happen? But then again, very, very, very bittersweet, It was so, so bittersweet. Like, Belly Majinga's family came, they were front line with us. Even John Boyega, people don't know, and I don't really know why he did this, but he said that he was just handed a megaphone. That was a lie, right? And I'm here to say that today. That was a lie.
Okay. She said it here. Right. All right, let me take a seat.
So he was there early. He got there at 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and someone ran over to me like, oh my God, John Boyega's here. And I was like, what? Like, where? Like, where is he? And they took me over to him, and he was like, oh, thank you so much for organising this, like this is amazing, like can you give me the opportunity to speak? And I said, opportunity to speak?
Take the mic, I'd have threw at him.
Oh,
take the mic, sir.
Take it. So, when it got to, I think 2 o'clock, he just did his thing,
you see when he made that speech,
it was
I didn't go, but Twitter was when he made that speech, everyone was like, did he cry?
Oh, he cried.
He was crying, and you could just see the hurt and passion. He didn't have to come.
100%.
He actually didn't have to do that.
100%.
You could say he's famous before people jump on him.
Yeah.
He was there, and I feel like everyone even respected him.
This is the thing.
Did anyone jump on that?
Do you know the amount of people, celebrities that were in the crowd alone? Like, because there was a one circle that was kind of like surrounded by John Boyega, and then obviously the spread, right? Georgia Smith, like influencers, Love Island, Priscilla, Michael, everyone was all within that circle. And everyone was just so like, no one cared. It wasn't about it was just so, that day,
just so genuine. Everyone knew the cause they came for. This wasn't about who has enough followers.
100.
This is about humanity. And I feel like it was really nice to see what we can do when we come together
100%.
as one and for a good cause. So then obviously we've spoken and you've told me that obviously after that, not that it wasn't what it seems, but a lot of things went a bit left.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, so the processes happened, like there's so much going on. I'm talking BBC are trying to do a documentary, Vogue's trying to shoot, like magazines upon magazines, like everything's just going crazy. And it's like, it was all good, it was amazing. But it's like, I think, come the third day, because after the protest on the 3rd of June, that same week, we probably attended about 4 different protests. There was protest after protest after protest, like people were just protesting, So it's like, I kind of started to stand in the crowd, looking around like, are you people really, do you guys really understand, do you guys really know what you're fighting for? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, even on the day of the protest, of the day of the protest that I organised, on the 3rd of June, at the end of the day, literally, so everything had been done. You know, the police are thanking me, telling me, oh, thank you so much for, you know, how social distanced it was, and considering that we're in this time, etc., etc. And there was this girl who was actually Caucasian with like 3 of her friends, and they were like screaming at the officers, telling the officers to bow down, get on one knee, get on one knee. So they're standing there, and I'm, you know, I'm very emotional at this point because, you know, we've just gotten to the end and cool. They're standing there, they're screaming, like, kneel down, like, you can't even kneel down, show respect, like, kneel down, like. And I'm looking, I just said to one of my volunteers, I was like, excuse me, can you go sort those girls out? Like, just sort them out, because if I do what I'm gonna do right now, it's not gonna be nice, do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, it took me back after, and I said to myself, like, do you even know why you're saying that? Like, you're telling an officer to kneel down, kneel down, kneel down. But, like, do you actually understand? Because I knew for a fact they didn't get it. Not that they didn't get it, but you performative. That's what it is.
Commercial.
You know? So I just, like, cool, so I'm the days are going by, and it's like, I'm going on social media, and there's a whole load going on, you know? Like, the officer that got knocked off the horse, the whole altercation between the police and some youth in Angeltown, like, I don't know, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about, yeah.
So I'm seeing all of this now, and I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of getting a bit stressed out, because emotionally, this is much for me. I won't lie, I'm a Pisces. I'm
a Pisces as well.
Right, so I'm a very, if you read about
life
Pisces,
has really been,
right. It gets to me. It gets to me sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
PTSD.
Yeah, right. So it's like, I feel things a lot. So for me to, like, you know, go home and I'm seeing on the Shade Borough, I'm seeing on I'm Just Bait, I'm seeing on all these, you know, like, you've woken up, you've said to yourself, yeah, George Floyd, yeah, Breonna Taylor, yeah, like BLM, yeah. Let me write Black Lives Matter on a piece of cardboard and take it to the streets of London and protest for what I believe in. Yeah, this is great. Then you want to go home, see a post about ragamuffins in Angeltown and laugh about it. No, but laugh about it. Like, it's, you know, like it's funny. Because it's like, don't get twisted. Cool. We're not protesting against our own people. We're not protesting for things like this. But you can't do things like this while we're moving.
Yeah, because it's backwards. It's so backwards.
It's like we're going from, we're like at 1, we move to 10, we get back to 7. From 7, we're at 4. Like from 4, we're down back -1, 0. You know, like it's like, it's embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. We can't laugh at our own people. If we're not going to take every aspect of this thing serious, then it's not going to work. Same way with this whole Tory Lanez and Meghan situation. I'm not into all this.
Yeah, the pastor.
Do you get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we had a situation that we've seen end so badly in the past. So why do you really think that's funny? You know? Like, you're seeing a woman hop out of a car, her foot's bleeding, yeah. Tories on the floor, you know, like straggling out. There's officers pointing guns. Like, everyone knows how them situations end. It's not funny.
Yeah, I would say, I feel like with black people, we get upset about one thing, then it's like we don't continue it. Like, for us to be taken, I feel like we're a race that we are incredible in it, but I feel like people do mock us a lot. So I feel like it's very important that we, you know, we're consistent in our beliefs. If we're fighting our own or do having these little 1, 2, what was it? Was it like a riot? It wasn't even a riot. It was just like...
It was just foolishness.
Yeah, there was just a whole heap of things going on, and it's just like, we're fighting for our rights, and we're fighting to stay alive, and you guys aren't taking it seriously. And you know what? Social media doesn't help.
It doesn't.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I even laughed at some of the memes, and it's not funny, but it's just like, social media, we just make everything funny and commercial. Yeah. But this is real life, like, people are dying. Just because it's happened in America, it's happening in the UK as well. You get it? But yeah, that whole protest, well, I would say you did an incredible job in it. However you feel now, you need to understand that taking that responsibility is not easy. We're going through a pandemic right now. Yeah. We weren't even allowed to be out. We weren't. We actually weren't allowed to be out. So you, not saying anything could have happened to you, but they'll just be like, yeah, Naomi's the one that started this year. Go to her. Do you get it? But at the end of the day, it just goes to show, like, when you want to do something, no one can really stop you.
No, 100%.
Now, be real, you guys have celebs behind you, innit? Like, celebs have power and influence. Like, if they really spoke on it, nothing could really happen.
No, 100%.
But I wanted to say, obviously, like, you've done a lot of incredible things. Obviously, we started off talking about how you ended up in the Shade Room. You've done the whole protest. You've become, obviously, more confident in yourself. And I feel like that hasn't gone in vain, in the sense that with Vogue. Yeah. Explain to them what happened with you on Vogue and how that made you feel at the time.
Vogue, they emailed me. I was in my room and I was just like, I just got this email and all I saw was Vogue, but I just saw Vogue and I went on my email and I looked and it said, oh, like, we'd like to, we've nominated you for...
I'd have called them.
Pardon?
I would have called them as soon as I see that.
Oh, you know when I saw it, I didn't even think it was real. I knew it was real, yeah, but I just didn't, you know, like, they said, yeah, like, we'd like to nominate you for the annual pick of Britain's most influential women, right? And I just said, I
bet.
You know, like, it just, I think they told me, and then I think like 2 weeks later, I went to the studio and I just felt like a queen, like, you know, they took all my stuff, I had a stylist, I had a makeup artist. I was scared though, I'll be honest, because I did actually request for my own makeup artist prior, but she did a good job. I mean, you know, it wasn't what I would want, you know, but like, she considered it right. So, no, it was amazing. It was amazing. Like, and it was very, but it was, what I didn't realize is doing the shoot is one thing, but the shoot actually coming out was a different thing, you know? Like, because I did it and it didn't come out for like 3 months and no one knew that I did it, you know? So and it's funny because the day that I did it, like a couple of days after everyone started doing that Vogue thing, like, putting Vogue on their picture, and I thought to myself, damn, like, if I drop it now, everyone's just gonna think it's a, you know? And they were like, oh yeah, it doesn't come out till August, because I did it in April, I think. It didn't come out till August. And then, yeah, April, that's cap. June, August, right. And then, yeah, boy, that day was nuts, man.
So do you feel like, obviously, an opportunity like that stems from you finally, like, loving yourself and unapologetically, like, being yourself, do you get it?
Yes, because everything just started working. I mean, not many people know this, but I lost like all my friends before this. Like, literally, like my last friend, we argued, done, you know, gone, and then a week later I blew, and it was like.
Wait, losing your friends was there as a personal reason?
No, like it was just personal, like just a whole load of problems, you know, within friendships and like just people that just weren't good for me, and it was people that I held on for a very long time. Knowing that they weren't good for me, you know? So it's like, the minute they dropped, like the minute everything just started changing, like, you know, I was in a better space mentally, like, the way things happen was just crazy.
I feel like as soon as in life you just start to accept things for the way they are, and, you know, like, try and work towards goodness comes to you. And I feel like this year obviously has been a crazy year. Like, everyone, we know 2020 is a year that we're all never gonna forget. But I feel like obviously with you, you've done a lot this year, you've achieved a lot. So obviously, I don't even want to ask you what you're gonna do this year, because this year I'm even scared to talk about it, because you can say you're gonna do one thing, you'll come ahead, there's World War III, like you can't plan.
No,
but
for real.
probably like next year, what things do you have in the works? Do you want to get into?
Well, I mean, right now, I just have a lot of followers. There's a lot going on. This is so like kind of off, you know, but I'll be honest, I take a lot of pride in my little sisters, right? So I don't want to say that I'm patterned, because I'm not patterned. Like, there's a lot more things that I want to do, but they're kind of in the works and not really for conversation right now, you know? But it's like, to do with like, you know, my sisters and that, like, I'm really trying to pattern them. So next year is more about sorting them out, like.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's I don't know, I feel like it's needed. Them being, I've got a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old. One's quite dark, like myself, and she, I think, went through a lot of things that I went through when I was kind of younger. And then the other one, she's very tall. So she's 12 years old, right? 6 foot, like, she's beautiful, and she's about to do the med thing. Like, you know, a major agency has just like messaged me yesterday, and it's like that. So right now, as much as, you know, people say, oh, you know, focus on yourself, but I'm not gonna lie, it's them. So,
and do you feel like you're doing that because you know the struggles?
Right, and no one did it for me. I did it all by myself. Like, anyone can vouch for that, you know? Like, so I don't know, they've got an older sister, so why not? So it's like...
No, that's really genuine. And to take a whole, like, next year, to make that your focus, I hope it goes well for you.
100%.
And yeah, I'm sure it will go well for you. But I just want to say you've been a great guest. Like, honestly, the conversations we've had, I really want everyone to really listen to this because it's so important. And I'm so thankful to have you today. And all her socials are going to be in the description box below. Make sure you follow her, engage with her, and I can't wait to see you guys on our next episode. Thank you.